What happens when a fighter jet crashes at high speed? It is one of the most dangerous things that can happen in the world of aviation. These jets are built for extreme performance, but when something goes wrong, it can happen very fast, and the results are often tragic. We will explain how these crashes happen, what causes them, and we'll discuss real examples where fighter jets have lost control at high speeds. We will also talk about the science behind these crashes and what pilots and engineers do to try to prevent them. Let's get started. What happens in a high-speed fighter jet crash? First, let's explain what we mean by high speed. Fighter jets are some of the fastest machines ever made. Most modern fighter jets, like the F-16, F-18, F-22, F-35, and others, can fly at speeds well over the speed of sound. That is called Mach 1. Some jets can reach Mach 2 or more, which is twice the speed of sound. To give you an idea, the speed of sound is about 760 miles per hour, depending on the air and altitude. So, when a fighter jet is going Mach 2, it is flying at around 1,500 miles per hour. That is faster than a bullet fired from most guns. At these speeds, everything happens very quickly. If the pilot loses control, or if there is a mechanical problem, the jet can break apart, hit the ground, or crash into the ocean within seconds. There is very little time to react. Causes of high-speed fighter jet crashes. There are several reasons a fighter jet can crash at high speed. Some of the most common include mechanical failure. Even though fighter jets are built with very high standards, they are still machines. They have engines, hydraulics, computers, and moving parts. If something breaks, especially at high speed, it can lead to disaster. For example, if a control surface like the rudder or elevator fails, the pilot may lose control. If the engine fails, the jet can lose power and stall. Structural failure. High-speed flight puts a lot of stress on the jet. The air pressure, the heat from friction, and the forces from turning or climbing can push the aircraft to its limits. If a part of the structure is weak or damaged, it can break apart. Sometimes, wings or tails have come off jets during extreme maneuvers at high speed. Pilot error. Flying a fighter jet is very difficult, especially at high speeds. Pilots train for years to handle these machines, but mistakes can happen. A wrong control input, misreading instruments, or failing to notice a problem in time can all lead to a crash. Sometimes, pilots experience spatial disorientation. That means they lose track of which way is up or down, especially during sharp turns or in clouds, bird strikes, or foreign objects. Sometimes, something hits the jet at high speed, like a bird or debris. Even a small object can cause big damage at over 1,000 miles per hour. There have been crashes where birds struck the jet's engine or canopy, leading to loss of control. Example 1. F-15. Breakup. During high-speed climb. In one case, an F-15 Eagle, one of the most well-known fighter jets in the world, experienced a mid-air breakup during a high-speed climb. The jet was flying at near Mach 2 when part of the structure failed. The pilot was able to eject, but the aircraft broke apart and crashed. Investigation showed that a part of the airframe had a crack that grew over time, and the stress from the high-speed climb caused it to fail. Example 2. F/A-18 Hornet crash during low-level flight. In another incident, there was an F/A-18 Hornet flying a low-level, high-speed training mission. Now, if you don't know, low-level flying means staying really close to the ground, sometimes just a couple hundred feet above it, while still flying crazy fast. The Hornet in this case was doing exactly that. The pilot was moving over 700 miles per hour, basically skimming over hills, valleys, and rough terrain. The reason pilots do these low-level flights is to practice staying under radar detection or to simulate real combat missions where staying close to the ground keeps them hidden from enemies. It's a skill they have to master, but it's also one of the most dangerous things they ever do. And the thing about turbulence is, it doesn't always give you a warning. It's not like driving down a bumpy road where you see the potholes coming. You can fly into what looks like clear air, but invisible wind currents, air pockets, or mountain waves can hit you hard. When that happens at ground level and high speed, the jet can bounce, roll, or pitch unexpectedly. If you react too slow or overcorrect, it's easy to lose control. And again, at low altitude, by the time the jet is off balance, the ground is already right there. This FA-18 crash is a hard reminder of how dangerous that type of flying can be, even for highly trained pilots. The Hornet itself is known as a tough, reliable aircraft. It's been flown by the US, Navy, and Marine Corps for decades. But no matter how advanced the plane is, nature and speed combined can still be deadly. Example 3. F-22 Raptor crash. After loss of oxygen. Another example of how dangerous high-speed flight can be is what happened with an F-22 Raptor during a training flight. Now, the F-22 is one of the most advanced fighter jets ever built. It's got stealth, speed, maneuverability, the whole package. But even with all that technology, things can still go wrong. And sometimes, it's not even the jet itself that fails. It's the stuff that keeps the pilot alive. During this flight, the F-22 was climbing to a high altitude at high speed. That's something these jets do all the time during training and missions. But at those altitudes, the air gets thin. You can't breathe without help, which is why fighter pilots wear oxygen masks connected to life support systems in the jet. And that's exactly what happened here. At high altitude, flying at high speed, the pilot lost consciousness. That means he blacked out, completely unresponsive, slumped over in the seat, unable to control the jet. The scary part? The F-22 kept flying. These jets are powerful, and once they're moving, they don't stop on their own. So the aircraft stayed in the air for a short time, but with no one actively flying it, it drifted off course, started losing altitude, and eventually crashed into the ground. After the crash, changes were made to make sure this wouldn't happen again. First, they upgraded the oxygen delivery system in every F-22. They improved the sensors so pilots would get a warning if oxygen levels dropped. Backup oxygen bottles were installed so pilots could manually switch to emergency air if needed. Pilots also got extra training on how to recognize the early signs of oxygen loss, things like tingling fingers, foggy vision, or confusion. If a pilot feels those symptoms, they know to act fast, descend to a lower altitude if possible, and use the backup air supply. This whole incident showed how even small problems, like an oxygen glitch, can bring down one of the most advanced jets in the world. It also proved that flying at high speed and high altitude isn't just about the jet's performance, it's about keeping the human pilot alive and fully alert. Example 4. Bird strike at high speed. There have been multiple cases where fighter jets hit birds while flying fast. One well-known incident involved an F-16 that hit a large bird during takeoff at high speed. The bird damaged the engine, leading to failure. The pilot ejected safely, but the jet crashed and was destroyed. Example 5. Russian fighter jet crashes at airshow. During an airshow, a Russian-built Sukhoi fighter jet was performing high-speed maneuvers. The pilot pushed the aircraft to its limits, flying at near supersonic speed during sharp turns. Something went wrong, possibly with the controls or structure, and the jet crashed in front of the crowd. Final thoughts. High-speed fighter jet crashes are a harsh reminder that even with advanced technology, flying at extreme speeds carries risks. These machines are powerful, but they are also complex and sometimes fragile in the face of nature and physics. When a crash happens, it often leads to investigations, lessons learned, and improvements to make flying safer in the future. We hope today's video helped you understand how these high-speed crashes happen, why they are so dangerous, and what can be done to prevent them. Safety is always important. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos like this.